Hey VC, sorry for the violence. Um, let's see. This is going to be an attempt at a live opening. I don't think I've ever done a live opening, have I? This is much undeserved VCLT from Richard Lee. People around the world join in. It's a love train. Oh, and he's making some jokes on here about Richard Lee is busy. Took your time. Where's my VCLT? Richard is a great guy who posts records that he is recommending in the VC, and he had posted a 12-inch that I had never seen before, and it's by a band that hasn't ever released an album. Just I believe some 12 inches and then a CD compilation. I guess they're probably on some comps and stuff. Anyway, I had liked his post. He mentioned that it's not something you see very often, and he told me I could have it, which was, crazy generous. Hey Joe, you can never have enough. 4AD, yeah, 4AD is such a great label. And the Tuxedomoon is one of my favorites. The band too, but you knew that. It's always good to read you and watch your videos. It's greater to be, such a nice guy. Note there, whoa! It's supposed to just be one, maybe two things. It looks like there are four things in here. The group Lush, Mad Love, I'm guessing it's an EP, yeah. On 4AD, of course. I think I saw them once when I lived in DC at the 930 Club. Around 90 or 91, which is, I imagine, about when this came out. And now here's a group called Tuxedomoon, which I know was one of his favorite bands, and I've never actually heard them. So I'm really curious to see what this sounds like. So I'm going to give this an intensive listen. It's always a great experience when you discover a new band and, read up on them and sort of become aware of their catalog. I mean, that's one of the great things about the VC is you find out about different bands that you never heard of or groups that maybe you saw in the bins or marginally were aware of, but for whatever reason they didn't quite register with you. And then sometimes there's an initial period where you don't really know how to react to the band. You're not sure how you feel about it. You're slowly developing an aesthetic sense of what they're doing. I mean, obviously some stuff is more challenging or different than other stuff. So sometimes you don't need to do that because it already fits into the mold of all the music you've heard on the radio before. But other stuff on the fringes, you have to do that. Like last night, I was obsessed with the song Sinner Man by Nina Simone, and then just realized I hadn't really listened to any of her records before. And the 10-minute long live version of the song Sinner Man, check it out on YouTube if you haven't heard it. It's just an amazing song. I guess it had been recently used in some TV show or movie that I had seen, and it was just like, whoa, what is that? I need to... And it turns out there's a documentary on her coming out on Netflix this year. So I'm really looking forward to watching that. But anyway, Tuxedomoon. This is an EP. Looks like this is like from, 1978. Holy moly. So I'm guessing this is early, even for them, because this is just right at the end of the punk, first wave of punk, or whatever it's called. Beware of Imitations. Wow, the first released on their own label. Wow. Damn it. It's just too generous, Richard. I hope you've saved yourself a copy of this. Man, and look at this. Not only 4 record 12-inch vinyl records, but two 7-inches. Wow. On 4AD no less. I'm dumbstruck. Actually, I don't even know what this is. You and I Mass. This is also 4AD Cabbage. Mass. Okay, so I guess the group is called Mass. I've never even heard of them. Of course, 4AD, there was a book that was put out on them recently that also came with a CD sampler of the label. They did a lot of really neat stuff and were really unpredictable because, you know, you might think, oh, they sound like Cocteau Twins and Dead Can Dance and This Mortal Coil, and ethereal, beautiful stuff. But then they also have like some early Bauhaus stuff. And then they signed Throwing Muses, which were totally out of left field for them. And then of course the Pixies and then, okay, wow, this is another, looks like early 4AD is Bauhaus 7-inch Terror Couple Kill Colonel with scopes. And then Terror Couple Kill Colonel. Terror Couple Kill Colonel. I think that song by them was taken from like the title in a headline in a newspaper. Terror Couple Kill Colonel. Of course, Bauhaus is an awesome band with a great logo that they took from the Bauhaus movement in Germany. Very iconic. Isolation Word. Okay, so here's the 12-inch that he had posted, you know, and I have forever on my Amazon want list have had the compilation of their stuff. But I've never seen this. I don't know that I've ever seen an Isolation Word 12-inch in a record store even. Of course, who knows what you've seen to flip through because it didn't quite register. That's the thing, is when I was younger, I was looking for a sort of a narrow swath of types of music that I had heard about and was looking for and into. And that's good when you know you're looking for a very specific fix. But as you get older, you know that it pays to spread out a little bit because there's a lot more out there, you know, if you open your eyes and listen to what other people might be able to turn you on to, which is the great thing, again, about the VC. So this is, oh, Pale Saints, the Pale Saints, I'm familiar with them. They're, again, part of the 4AD, part of the sort of a lush guitar wave that included bands like Ride and people who followed after My Bloody Valentine and bands like Stone Roses and stuff like that, with sort of washes of sound of guitars. Neat. Wow, this, again, so generous, Richard. You're just too nice. I had sent you couple of things and need to keep this ball rolling. Thank you for watching. Part of the reason I've done this video is a really lucky mail day for me. I was expecting some stuff that came in the mail today, and the package from Richard, of course, got me really excited. But here are two packages of things that, you know, I feel greedy and, you know, whatever for having all this, you know, it's an embarrassment of riches, as they say. This, I believe, is a box set that I ordered of Glenn Gould. Glenn Gould is a Canadian pianist known for his interpretations of pieces by Bach, Mozart. There's a really great movie about him called 32 Short Films About Glenn Gould. That was the first thing that introduced me to him in a way that I was starting to pay attention. It's a really interesting depiction of his life and his character. And then subsequently I watched, there are a couple of documentaries about him. I think they're on Netflix and or Amazon Prime. Kitty's making an appearance here. This is Twyla. She is going to be 17 this summer. She's a tortoiseshell. But anyway, Glenn Gould's music, to me, like I love listening to his music when I'm trying to think. Seems like it would be great for a student who is like studying or working on something, because it's very maybe it's I was going to say maybe it's a bit Western in its perspective rather than Eastern. I don't know if that's fair though. Wow, Wow, look at this beautiful box. I didn't realize it was this big. 0. Glenn Gould, the complete Bach collection. Yeah, so he's known especially for his interpretations of Bach. And this is CDs and DVDs. Let's see if I can get this open without destroying it. Found it for a good price used on Amazon. Doesn't go for too much considering what all you get in this package. But anyway, if you're not familiar with Glenn Gould, I recommend you check out. He's one of those people like Ravi Shankar that I collect just anything I ever see, and that collection will never be complete because there's just so much. I try to pick them up cheap because, you know, a lot of times people don't really pay attention to classical music. Wow, so here's a great book that has pictures and a lot of information. And it is in German. Please have a section that's in English. Okay, good. So it's in English also. So, nice hardback book. And let's see here. Complete Bach audio and video recordings. Wow. These are the audio CDs. Those are the actual CD sleeves themselves, as well as the first few are some DVDs. Anyway, so Glenn Gould, if you've never heard him, check him out on YouTube. I'm sure there's some clips. Check out those movies and documentary. God, my mind is I'm drawing a complete blank, though, on the thing that he's most known for, and I'm out of focus, and I'm taking up your time. I'm sorry, internets. Beep. Okay, this is something else that, again, this is sort of a classic thing here. One thing that I never thought I would be able to have, and it's sort of been made a little bit moot by the Beatles mono box that came out in the individual releases, but I'm a huge Beatles fan, although that's not always popular in the VC because it is so popular, so it's ironic, I guess. Everybody knows the Beatles. Some people get tired of hearing about them. But the White Album is my favorite Beatles album, and whenever I find like a used copy of it, it's hard for me not to buy a copy of the White Album. I'm always sort of trying to upgrade my copy that I have. It's so hard to find a copy in anything better than VG condition, I think. I have a couple of copies that I would say are about VG plus, barely, maybe. And then, of course, looking for a copy with all the pictures and a good copy of the poster. I think I got that. Well, anyway, one of the grails, White Album-wise, is the, in England, and only in England, so far as I know, it was released in mono, with slightly different mixes of some of the songs. And the mono White Album, since it was, you know, again, only released in England, it's harder to find, more expensive, especially a good copy. And again, it's hard to find a VG Plus copy of, especially an original White Album, you know, or even a 70s White Album. But so some of the things with this, in addition to being mono, you can tell it's an early press because it still has the number, and this isn't it. The Beatles logo is my brain embossed, debossed. Also the mono version, you can also tell it has the sleeves, the records go in from the top, out of focus again, rather than from the sides. So the sleeve isn't in too bad a condition. Come on, focus, please. Focus. This is just, you know, my life, basically. My life is out of focus. What do I do? What do I do? Do I pause? Do I make 2 videos? Hello? Okay, the tips of my fingers are in focus. So I'll just get super close. Let me make sure that this is, well, I'm all of a sudden in focus. So they put them in these nice sleeves. That was kind. Originally they would have had black sleeves. Not these other sleeves, which are nice, but they're definitely not original. The mono white album has had black sleeves. And I'm going to have to double check the whatevers to make sure it's all good. Again, I got this because it was inexpensive for what it is. It looks like it's been cleaned thoroughly to try to maximize the quality of what's here. But I bought it as just like, as this being in VG condition, which I would say it is. There's some weird marking at the top here, but that's within the VG spectrum of quality. It doesn't have any of the photos or the posters, but that's not as big a deal to me. The other thing that came in this package that I bought is Dylan, the Witmark Demos. So these are early recordings of Dylan. Not the earliest, but from some of the best period of his creativity, in my opinion. My favorite Dylan, probably, well, I mean, the period up to his motorcycle accident, I think is, most people would agree is probably the best of his output. Although, of course, he has some other highlights later. Anyway, his first album, although it's revelatory in itself for its own reasons, is not as great as when he started doing more of his own material that was very impassioned and personal and heartfelt. Anyway, so this is really welcome addition to my collection. Monumental release, Dylan, the Witmark Demos, the White Album, mono UK copy, which I never thought I'd own. To be honest, I did pick up a reissue of the when the mono white album was released by Capitol recently. I picked it up. Hope you don't mind my thinning hair missing from the top of this video. Thank you so much, Richard Lee, for your very generous VCLT. Can't wait to play this stuff and listen to that Tuxedomoon. As I mentioned, I had picked up in a collection I bought a Tuxedomoon that didn't have a sleeve that I need to find and listen to, and I'm sure I'll check out some clips on YouTube as well to get a better understanding of what they were about and what their sound ranged from the beginning through their career. Anyway, I apologize to everyone watching this video for wasting your time because I am a mess and I feel guilty for getting all this wonderful stuff. Honestly, not every day is like this for me, mail day. This is a pretty monumental mail day for me. I was really excited, and it's amazing that all this came on one day. It's like a birthday or something. Anyway, cheers, VC. You never see me drinking anything because I always drink my beverages really fast. I just got home from work, and I have my coffee and a bowl of cereal, and then sometimes a lot of times I end up taking a nap because, sorry to waste your time.